Men aren't quitting love, they're quitting self-betrayal. Stay with me. In minutes you'll see why and what it means for you. They're not quitting out of bitterness. They're choosing clarity. Because the cost of ignorance is the slow death of the self. Carl Jung warned, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. For many men, love became that fate. A beautiful trap. And they finally saw the bars. Tonight, we descend into the part of the mind where love, power, and identity collide. If you are a woman listening, this matters deeply. Not to fear men, but to see them, to understand the language of sovereignty, and the kind of love that does not demand a sacrifice of the soul. Here is the first truth. Most people don't actually seek love. They seek relief. They trade pieces of themselves to avoid the terror of being alone with their own thoughts. They call it romance, but it's a bargain. Imagine Adrian, 29, rising surgeon, apartment neat, fridge half empty, phone silent by design. He isn't hiding from love. He's hiding from the version of himself who would perform for it. He stopped running, and the silence grabbed him by the throat. In that silence, another voice whispered, "Stop abandoning yourself to be chosen." Pause here. Who do you become when you think someone might leave? Do you bargain with your worth? Or do you hold the line? Kierkegaard said, "Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Solitude is that dizziness. It is an initiation, not an exile." Rowan learned this the hard way. A ring returned. A door closed softly. He tried drowning pain in noise. It didn't work. So he did the unthinkable. He made a sanctuary of his days. Morning runs with no music. Evenings without a screen. He cooked, he read. He rebuilt the spine of his life, vertebra by vertebra. One night he wrote in a journal, "I am not lonely. I was simply missing from myself." That line changed him. It will change you too if you let it. Pause. Silence is brutal, but it does not lie. Now the second truth. Pain is a forge. It can melt you into nothing, or pour you into a stronger shape. Nietzsche said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star." The chaos after a heartbreak is not a curse. It's raw fuel. Your hands decide what it becomes. Silas took that fuel and built a craft. He started designing furniture at night. Hours bent over raw maple and walnut, hands shaking, eyes burning. Wood teaches a simple law. You cannot force a curve. You must learn where the grain wants to go. By winter, his apartment smelled like cedar and peace. He no longer chased approval. He chased precision. And with precision came power. Pause. Rejection is not the opposite of love. It is the invitation to self-respect. Third truth. After the forge, after the silent, something shifts. Love changes shape. The need to be needed dissolves. Desire remains, but it refuses to kneel. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." For men who have faced themselves, the obstacle was codependency. The way is sovereignty. They do not want a rescuer. They do not want a passenger. They want a witness and a partner and a mirror. You can feel that difference in a room. He looks at you without hunger. He listens without taking notes for later. He does not audition. He invites. And you find your breath slowing because there is no script to perform. If you are a woman meeting a man like this, hear me. He is not testing you. He is protecting the life he bled to build. Do not try to fix him, save him, or prove him wrong about love. Bring your truth. Bring your boundaries. Bring your silence as an equal to his. That is how doors open. Seneca warned, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." So many fights are fantasies. So many promises are panic. So many vows are bargains. Stop trading your future to soothe your fear in the present. Both of you. Now the dark realization. Most people don't love you. They love the way they feel about themselves when they are with you. They love how you fit the story they wrote. They love the reflection in your eyes. And when you stop being a reflection, they call you cold. When you stop abandoning yourself, they call you difficult. When you stop performing, they say you've changed. No, you remembered. The crowd is untruth, Kierkegaard wrote. The crowd says love is proof of value. The solitary mind says value is the soil where love can grow. The difference is everything. Here is the twist no one expects. The moment a person stops chasing love, the door reappears. Not the old door that led to a prettied-up prison. A different door. Small, quiet, hard to notice. It opens to another kind of bond. Myra found it first. She wasn't looking for a savior. She wasn't hunting for a project. She was done with scenes. She met a man who had survived his own storms. He did not ask her to shrink. He did not ask her to glow on command. He asked only for truth. They share a key but not a cage. They share plans but not possession. On their best nights, they sit in separate chairs, reading the same book in silence, two minds lit by one lamp. That is not distance. That is devotion without devouring. Jung reminds us, no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Some loves are possible only after you've walked through your own underworld. Only after you've killed your appetite for control. Only after you've looked at your shadow and said, "Stay, we have work to do. Let this land." Freedom is not the end of love. It is the end of illusion. Love born after freedom is smaller, slower, and far more dangerous to your old life. Because it requires presence. Because it survives truth. Because it will not tolerate the old bargains. So what do you do with this? If you are a woman, look at your patterns. Do you want to be adored more than you want to be understood? Do you want a man who needs you, or a man who chooses you? Can you hold space for a sovereign without trying to conquer him? If you are a man, honor the path you chose. Let solitude refine you, not harden you. Build something that would still matter if no one clapped. And if love returns, let it walk beside you. Never let it drag you. Become who you are, Nietzsche said. And Kierkegaard, with a grief only the honest know, added, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Understanding is your mercy. Forward is your duty. Which leaves us here, on the edge of a quieter kind of revolution. Not men versus women. Not winners versus losers. But illusions versus awareness. Control versus courage. Performance versus presence. Freedom doesn't end love. It ends illusion. Which bargain dies tonight? If you're ready, walk with me to the next chapter. Darkness reveals what comfort hides.